All right, this is it. The big fight, man. UFC 229, Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Conor McGregor. And I wish I could call it a fight breakdown, but when it comes to Conor, it's just always a little bit more complicated than just a fight breakdown. We've all been saying the same things. We have all been saying basically the same thing about this fight. It's different sides of the coin coming together right now. It's the yin and the yang coming together, and we're about to see who really is going to find the balance right now. So, I'm going to get into the basics of it, but most of this is going to be some esoteric shit because Conor just brings a different type of energy to a fight. So we're going to talk Conor McGregor. He is the number one contender. He was the former lightweight champion, former featherweight champion, never defended a belt. 9-1 in the UFC, 21 wins, 3 losses altogether. Really great record. Khabib is the champion of the world. He never beat a champion to get that belt. 26-0 altogether, 10-0 in the UFC. Phenomenal record, unbeaten record. When Conor was talking crap, Conor was like, yeah. He was like, I went and fought Mayweather. What did Khabib say? He said, I'm the Mayweather of MMA. I'm the Mayweather of MMA. And he is, right? He's undefeated. Undefeated fighter. Great record. People out there saying 27-0. He's about to be 27-0 type of thing. But I'm still not sure yet. But let's get into the strengths. You guys already know him. We already know him. Left hand KO power. Speed. The hand speed. Right? That wide stance that he uses. Dart in and out. Switches stances. Better from the southpaw, but he does go in there and switch stances. The wide stance also is really good because he can really use a lot of movement to throw off his opponents. Also, mental warfare. Before the fight, he's tagged you. He's got you so nervous. He's got the energy high. He's got everything at level 10 before you even get in the octagon. And then we saw in his last fight, not his last fight, but the fight before that with Nate Diaz, that he's got a nasty little low leg kick, right? He'll go for that low leg kick. He will break his foot off on your shin. He will break your foot off on a shin or two, literally. So that's it. Conor, KO Khabib. Conor can also kick the shit out of Khabib's leg, and Conor can be evasive. What Conor's doing now is trying to use the mental warfare. Let's talk about Khabib. Khabib Nurmagomedov is an incredible, impeccable wrestler, and that's about it. I hate to say it, but that is it. The guy is just good with the sambo, with the wrestling. He's heavy. He's ripping your base from up underneath you. He's ground and pound. Also, his ground and pound is really good. Smothering you. He's relentless. He is a relentless wrestler. Gas tank for days. He's the cardio kingpin. So I'm just this one here is a tough one, man. It's a tough one to even think about doing a fight pick for because it's just crazy because they both have very different skill set, right? And then if we were to talk about their weaknesses, Conor's weaknesses are all of Khabib's strengths, right? So Conor, shit gas tank. His cardio is horrible. It just really is not enough to last him through 5 rounds, through a 5-round scrap. We know that Khabib can go through a 5-round scrap, no problem. We know that. So Conor has a bad gas tank. Also, Conor's ground game is just not there. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, he actually does have a ground game. We didn't get a chance to see it. No, we have seen it. We've seen him choked out. We've seen him get choked out on numerous occasions. So it's like, I'm not sure if that is for some people doesn't count, but he has been choked out. We saw him in the Nate Diaz fight. He basically gave his back to Nate Diaz. He didn't know what to do on the ground, and he wasn't injured. I don't know if he was injured in that, but Yeah, he wasn't injured in that fight. You know, he was injured going into the Chad Mendes fight, but he wasn't injured in the Nate Diaz fight, but he still got choked out. No problem. Literally no problem. Nate Diaz sliced through that guy like butter. So I'm just going to say the ground game is not it at all. It's not there. It's not up to par. It's just not up to par. We'll just leave it at that. Cardio also not up to par. Everything else, though, really anywhere else the fight goes, I can see Conor really, really putting it on Khabib. But then it's like, let's talk about Khabib's weaknesses. Khabib has a horrible stand-up game. It's tons of holes in his stand-up game. You know, it's tons of holes in that guy's stand-up game. So it's just like, it's really tough. It's really tough to call because basically, if either of these two guys step out of line, if they step out of pocket, they lose the fight right there. Right there on its face, they lose the fight. So I'm not sure if it doesn't even make sense to even go in about how they would win. We know how each one would win. Khabib would submit Conor. Conor would knock out Khabib. If it goes past, people are not really counting on Conor after the first round, but I would give Conor until like the third round. You know what I mean? I think his gas tank will take him through to the third round. And he can still have knockout power, at least the beginning of the third round. So I'm not quite sure that it has to be in the first round. But if it's first, second round, definitely Conor could KO this guy. But if anything else, if Conor steps out of pocket at all, if he throws one kick to the head, Khabib is going to keep that guy down. You know what? I just thought about it. If Conor really wants to, be flashy Conor, you know what he should do? He should just play a nice evasive game for the first round, for the first part of the round, and then the last 20 seconds, just blitz Khabib. Just blitz him, because Khabib takes a little while to get you down. He grinds. He's a grinder. He'll grind out for a takedown. So I think that if Conor can just be evasive for most of the round and take that maybe the last minute, and just start cracking Khabib. Just boop, 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 boop. Just start cracking this guy. Just kicking. And then you can kick to the head too, because it doesn't matter at that point. It's not much time. It's really not much time. He could either steal the round from Khabib, or he can just clip him up so bad that Khabib opens himself up to a knockout. And if you open yourself up even in the slightest bit, Conor's going to see it and he's going to KO you. Period. I know it's been a while since Conor's been in the octagon, so I'm not sure if he's going to be rusty or not. I just don't think so. I don't think so. Not with this guy. I don't think rust is in his pedigree. I really don't. So that's Conor. I think if Conor wins, he's going to have to be sneaky. The same way he won against Nate Diaz. He was sneaky. He just threw low leg kicks and ran from him the whole time. So I think that if Conor wins this fight, he needs to be sneaky, man. Just to be evasive for 4 minutes, and in that last minute, go for broke. Just be very calm, hit him with the basics, hit the jab, continue to catch your timing, get your timing right, but then in that last minute, blitz him. I'm just going to go for a different little move there. Everyone's saying, well, if it's in the first round, he can just knock him out. Let's talk about something a little different. Let's talk about something a little bit different, and that's what I think kind of works. I think that would actually work. That'd be a decent game plan right there. And for Khabib now, on the other hand, Khabib needs to be, as soon as the buzzer sounds, Khabib needs to be moving in towards this guy. Now, I understand that if Khabib can just kind of put a guard up and go in, so don't go in throwing jabs and none of that. Nope, put a guard up, just like Justin Gaethje, put a guard up and walk straight towards him. And then just wrap your arms around him and take him down, because Khabib has no chance on the feet. No chance on the feet. Now, when I say if Khabib steps out of pocket, what's out of pocket for Khabib? What is really out of pocket for Khabib? It is that Al Iaquinta stuff when he was throwing jabs and doing all of that. Throwing 5, 6, 7 jabs. Now, he was hitting Al Iaquinta, but Al Iaquinta is no Conor whatsoever. So if Khabib starts doing that, oh my gosh, he's in trouble. He's in trouble. He is. But I'm sure Khabib wants to beat Conor on the ground. I don't think he wants to knock him out. I think he wants to beat this guy on the ground. Anyways, this is what we've got right here. We literally have two guys that they are together. They're together. They're a mixed martial artist, but apart, they've got their specialty, and that's what it is. That is what it is. So, you got to take it. Now, what I'll say about the mental warfare part, I know that Conor has the edge, but Khabib is taking it on the chin quite well. He's taking that thing on the chin because he's not really flinching to Conor very much. He's yapping back at Conor quite a bit. I just saw him today go off on an entire crowd of Irish people, and he was like, "What's your language? You tell me your language. I have a question for you. You speak Irish? Do you speak the Irish language or do you speak English?" And he was saying something about Conor McGregor. He tried it. He tried to go in and do a little crap talk. It didn't necessarily work, but this is how Khabib is. Khabib gets a little bit upset and then he talks a little bit of trash. That's the same thing he was doing with Tony Ferguson, But you gotta like Khabib. What did he say? 3 days. They were just booing him. Boo, boo. He said, 3 days. Don't worry. In 3 days, you'll like me. You all will like me. In 3 days, you'll like me. I don't know if that means he's going to win or lose, though. That's the thing. So, but it's a big fight. It definitely it doesn't feel as big as I thought it was going to be, though. It really does not feel as big as I thought. The crowd was a lot smaller than I thought for this open workout, unless they only let a certain number of people in. Now, I understand that if they didn't want it to be a crowd full of people, just fill the place up, that makes sense. And that might have been what they did because it was really, really thin in there. Incredibly thin. So, both of these guys have such a big chance of winning. They really do. Huge chance of winning. Huge chance of winning this fight. Both guys do. It is going to be, and it's going to be hard as hell for me to pick this fight. It's going to be so hard for me to pick this fight, but I'm down for it. I'm just going to keep thinking about it, and I'm recording I don't have that much time because I'm recording my fight picks right after I record this video. So it's going to be very difficult. I don't know which way you guys are going. I don't know what type of, if you guys see any holes in Conor's game, any holes in Khabib's game that I'm not noticing, leave those thoughts in the comments section. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, channel the fight, channel your life, channel MMA.